You always take me to quiet places, private places. But I started feeling like you were hiding me.
This is Janet, my girlfriend. Nice to meet you, Janet.
You said I wanted you so badly, that you were just giving me a little bit of what I had been begging for. You gave me just enough attention to keep me attached, and just enough distance to make me question myself. You only came when you realized someone else could have me.
Jeanette, will you marry me?
Weeks later, Daniel came to pick Janet up for a date. Janet noticed the expression immediately.
You look suspiciously happy.
I am.
That's not reassuring.
It should be. I haven't done anything wrong yet.
That yet was unnecessary.
Noted.
The restaurant he chose was quiet, calm.
Are you still thinking about it?
Thinking about what?
The whole I'll think about it situation from approximately 3 lifetimes ago.
3 lifetimes.
It was a long time.
It was 3 weeks ago.
In emotional time, that qualifies as ancient history.
What if I say I'm still thinking about it?
Then I continue being a respectful man who is emotionally stable and slightly disappointed.
Only slightly?
Yes, I have standards for my disappointment levels.
I'm not thinking about it anymore.
Oh?
I already know. I want to be with you.
Finally.
Finally?
I was beginning to consider filing a formal complaint about emotional suspense.
You're unbelievable.
I've been told.
And just so we're clear, you're officially stuck with me now.
Stuck?
Yes, contract is binding, no refunds.
There was no contract.
There was emotional intent. That holds up in court. I'm glad you said yes.
Me too.
The relationship settled into something steady after that. Daniel called when he said he would, showed up when he planned to, listened when she spoke. And slowly, Janet stopped monitoring silence, stopped searching for hidden meaning in small changes of tone. For a while, things felt easy, which was why the small things caught her attention more than they normally would have. At first, she ignored them. Then she noticed them again. Then again.
Every date with Daniel happened somewhere quiet. Private restaurants, small cafes tucked away from crowds, late evening drives, bookstores, rooftop lounges softened by distance and low lighting. Beautiful places, intentional places, but always slightly removed from everyone else. At first, it felt thoughtful, like he simply preferred calm environments. But slowly, something else began forming underneath the surface. Not because Daniel behaved like Mike. He didn't. That was what made it harder to explain. Daniel was attentive, present, consistent. But fear is not always logical. And once that thought settled into Janet's mind, it became difficult to silence it again.
Why doesn't he ever take me somewhere public? Is he hiding me? I've never met anyone in his life. Not his friends, not his coworkers, not his family. Okay, maybe I'm overthinking this. We only became official a few months ago. If I mention it, he'll think I'm insecure.
Weeks later, she noticed the invitation.
A reunion. Should I tell Daniel? Would he even want to go with me? What if he doesn't want to go? What if I ask and he says no? What if those quiet places meant something I didn't understand? What if he's keeping me separate for a reason? Or worse, what if I'm just temporary? What if he agrees and later decides he doesn't want this anymore? What if I introduce him as my boyfriend and later he leaves me? People would laugh at me all over again.
She stared at the email, then slowly closed the laptop.
I received an invite for my school reunion. Again, is it every year? No. The last one was about 2 years ago. That one you always go with Mike? You're not going with him this year, are you? Of course not. That's good. So you're going with Daniel, right? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? I don't know how to say this. This probably sounds stupid. He always takes me to private places, quiet restaurants, hidden places where nobody really knows us. This reunion is different. People come there to show off their partners. Everybody sees everything. What if he doesn't want that? And what if I ask him and he says no? And what if he says yes? And later I realize he was never serious about me? What if he's hiding me because there's something I don't know? I know it sounds stupid, but if he comes with me and people see us and then we break up, how do I face everybody after that? I've already embarrassed myself once over somebody I loved. I don't think I can survive becoming public gossip too. There's nothing stupid about the way you feel. It's fear. And fear gets louder when you keep it trapped in your head. Have you talked to Daniel about any of this? No. Why? What if he thinks I'm insecure? We've only been together a few months. I don't want to create unnecessary issues. You're not creating issues by asking where you stand in someone's life.
The reunion arrived anyway.
Would he have come if I invited him? Or would he have found a reason not to?
The venue looked exactly the way she imagined. The kind of place where people presented carefully edited versions of happiness, compliments, achievements, careers, marriage, children, travel, promotions.
That's my fiancé. We're getting married next month. These are my kids. You have 3 children already? You look amazing. Oh, please. You're the one glowing. Oh my goodness, congratulations!
I'm working with a multinational now. Honestly, companies started reaching out before graduation. I finished top of my class, so...
Then she saw him. Mike. Something tightened faintly inside her chest. Not pain exactly. Just recognition. Mike sat comfortably near the center of the room, beside an elegant woman who matched the atmosphere perfectly.
So where's Janet these days?
Haven't seen her.
Maybe she'll show up with another man.
Doubt it.
Later, Mike finally noticed her across the hall. Alone. No man beside her. No visible proof that someone else had entered her life deeply enough to replace him. And immediately, something inside him relaxed. Of course. In his mind, her distance suddenly became easy to explain. Not rejection. Strategy. An emotional game designed to force him into finally defining things properly. The realization almost amused him. Janet had always loved him too much to truly leave. She always came back eventually. And now, seeing her arrive alone only reinforced what he already believed. She was still waiting for him. 1 week later.
Okay. What's going on?
What do you mean?
You've been somewhere else lately. Not physically, just with your thoughts.
Well, You can tell me if this sounds irrational. I went to my school reunion alone. I didn't even tell you because I didn't know if you'd want to come to something like that. Something so public. That wasn't even the beginning of it. It just made everything louder in my head. I think I've actually been feeling unsure for a while. Everyone there looked so certain. And I kept thinking about us. You always take me to quiet places, private places. It's always just us, away from everything else. And then I realized I've never met anyone in your life. No family, no coworkers, no place where your world overlaps with mine. I know maybe it doesn't mean anything, but I started feeling like you were hiding me. Like I don't fully exist in your real life. I started asking myself, what if I'm more invested than you are? What if I misunderstood everything? And you were just enjoying things as they are, without thinking long term?
And I didn't ask because I didn't want to sound insecure or difficult, but it's been sitting in my head anyway.
Thank you for telling me instead of carrying it alone. Let me be very clear with you. You're not irrational. And you're not insecure. You sound like someone trying not to get hurt again. And when people don't have clarity, their minds fill in the gaps. The quiet places were never about hiding you. That's just where I naturally exist when I'm not working. I don't merge people into my life quickly, not because I'm hiding them, but because I take it seriously. When I bring someone fully into my world, it's because I already see them there long term. But I understand why it looked different from your side. And I need you to hear this clearly. You don't have to figure out your place in my life alone. If something feels unclear, you ask me. You don't carry it until it turns into fear.
My sister already knows about you, by the way. I talk about you more than I probably should.
You are not outside my life, Janet. When you are still being brought into it properly.
The following Saturday,
Hi, Daniel. Hey, Steve. This is Janet, my girlfriend. Nice to meet you, Janet.
Nice to meet you too.
Janet felt something shift quietly inside her. Not validation, not relief, safety. 1 week later, Mike sat inside an upscale restaurant with his friends. When the door opened, Mike glanced toward the entrance and froze. Janet walked in calmly beside a well-dressed man. Their hands were intertwined naturally, like it belonged there. And for the first time, Mike saw something he hadn't prepared himself for. Janet looking genuinely happy somewhere else. They walked past his section toward another area of the restaurant. Janet laughed softly at something Daniel whispered to her. And that laugh hit harder than silence ever could. Something tightened sharply inside his chest. He realized something terrifyingly simple. Janet had stopped waiting for him.
I'm leaving.
What?
That night, sleep didn't come.
Why am I thinking about this?
Mike lay awake, replaying the image over and over again. Her laugh, her hand in his.
Janet, with another man? How long has this been going on? She came alone to the reunion. Maybe he's just a colleague. But that didn't look like nothing. They look close, too familiar. If I had defined things earlier, maybe this wouldn't be happening.
Janet still cares about me. I know that much. Maybe she's just tired of waiting.
Tomorrow, I'll talk to her properly. I'll make it clear that I want to be with her.
The next evening,
Oh,
Hey, is Janet around?
she's inside.
Hey,
You didn't tell me you were coming.
I wanted to surprise you.
Okay.
You're not excited to see me?
I am.
Can we talk?
We are talking.
I mean alone.
In case you haven't noticed, I live here.
You've been distant.
I've been busy.
What's going on, Janet?
You know you mean a lot to me.
If she meant that much to you, you wouldn't have turned her into entertainment for your friends.
What are you talking about?
I heard you. I heard everything you said that night. You said I wasn't your type. You said I'd always be there.
Jeanette.
You said I wanted you so badly that you were just giving me a little bit of what I had been begging for.
It wasn't like that.
It was exactly like that. You know what hurt the most? I defended you in my own mind. Even when I knew something was wrong. Do you remember when you called me and said you were hungry? I cooked for you immediately. I left my house and brought the food to you. And when I got there, you were sitting comfortably with another woman. She called me your personal chef. And you laughed.
Jeanette, please.
You laughed like that was all I was.
Jeanette, I know I messed up.
No. You knew I loved you. And you used that.
That's not true.
You gave me just enough attention to keep me attached. And just enough distance to make me question myself. I gave you everything. My time, my loyalty, my care, my love. And you treated it like convenience. I kept waiting for you to choose me. But you never did. So I decided to choose myself.
I'm here now.
That's the problem. You only came when you realized someone else could have me. You didn't have to choose me before. You already had me.
Janet, please. We can fix this.
There's nothing left to fix.
Janet, please.
I finally saw it clearly. I thought if I loved you enough, you would love me back. But love doesn't grow where it's never planted.
I didn't think you'd leave.
I know. That's why you were comfortable hurting me. I'm not angry anymore. I'm just done.
Please. I'll fix it. I'll make this real, I swear.
You won't get another chance to hurt me.
Janet.
No.
Ten months later.
Don't worry, I'll handle it. Handle what? I just got invited to a high-profile event I've been trying to attend for months. Really, what kind of event? You'll see when we get there. But I wasn't invited. You're coming with me.
Later that evening.
Why did you insist I wear something this sophisticated? I'm definitely overdressed. No, you look beautiful.
When they arrived, the building stood beneath the evening sky, glowing softly with warm light.
This looks like a reception hall. It is. For what? You'll see.
Inside, golden lighting shimmered gently across white florals and polished surfaces. Then, Janet noticed the photographs lining the hall. Every photograph felt like proof. Proof that someone had been paying attention to her happiness. And then, the doors at the far end of the hall opened. Daniel walked in, calm.
When I met you, I knew you were careful with your heart. You carried yourself like someone who had learned that love could become exhausting if it lived in the wrong hands.
And I remember thinking, if you ever trusted me with that part of yourself, I would never treat it casually. You changed my life in ways that didn't happen loudly. You made ordinary days feel meaningful. You made peace feel real to me. You became my favorite part of every day without even trying. And somewhere along the way, I realized I wasn't just building memories with you. I was building a home.
But a home only matters when the person you love knows they fully belong there. So I want you to hear this clearly, Janet. I choose you intentionally, not temporarily, not conditionally, not when it's easy. I choose your heart, your mind, your strength, your quiet, your laughter. Even the parts of you that still get afraid sometimes. And I promise,
You will never have to question where you stand in my life again.
Jeanette, will you marry me?
Yes. Yes.
I love you.
I love you too.